Here we are at the Circuit de Barcelona, Catalunya for the start of today's qualifying session. It won't be long now until we're ready to join the action down at trackside. Drivers tend to complain about tyre wear around this track, and the compounds on offer this weekend aren't likely to put that issue to bed. Is this going to be about who can make the tyres last?
Tyre wear is always something you have to consider to a certain degree. Finding a good car balance that suits the circuit will help prolong the life of the tyre, but it's true that some circuits, such as this one, are more challenging than others. How hard you can push them depends on your strategy and how tight the battle is around you.
Welcome everyone to F1 2017 Spanish Grand Prix. I think this is round 5 or round 6, I cannot remember, but as you've seen on the screen, we're just doing some qualifying, skipping practice, going straight into qualifying. And just a heads up for this race, we did change the power unit, so we were given a penalty because I decided to use some old power unit like the turbo and the gearbox in practice 1 and decide to change it before qualifying, so we were handed penalties left, right and center. But with the new changes and the better power unit, the fresh power unit, the fresh parts, we will hopefully be running much better in the race, as we're setting quite fast laps. Not the best, we are in the McLaren Honda, so it is sort of hindering us a bit. But on our last ever run, we had 2 tenths down and then all of a sudden we just go 2 wheels on the side. We're going to see a replay of that. Definitely destroyed our qualifying chances because lock up into the corner, not great, but the 2 wheels is unbelievable. There we go on the replay on the Sky Cam. We're gonna see on board again and we took the curb too much and it upset the car, and out wide we went and on the gravel. But that is our teammate got P12, Fernando and P12, but we actually placed P18 for qualifying 1, but not great result. But let's get straight into the race very shortly because I think Sebastian Vettel actually got pole position.
With that then, let's run through the grid order. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and Kimi Raikkonen completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Ricciardo, Max Verstappen and Perez, Hülkenberg, Sainz, Massa and Esteban Ocon, Alonso, Kvyat, Lewis Hamilton and Grosjean, Palmer, Magnussen, Lance Stroll and Pascal Wehrlein. Ericsson and a McLaren rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to...
So for some reason our teammate actually started P11, I think, or P12, I think it was P11. So Fernando and P11, Lewis Hamilton well down the order, but that's due to penalties. And as always, we're just going to change the fuel so we have more fuel for the race, and it gives us the chance to use the rich mix mode longer throughout the race. But we're going to skip formation lap like always. We're just going to see how the car initially starts with the clutch, and it feels like a good start. A little bit of wheel spin, but nothing that will be destroying us in the race for the actual start, as we now go to the final start for the race. So here we are on the grid with 3 lights, now 4 lights, 5 lights, lights out, and away we go. Ericsson off to a lot of wheel spin. We're catching up to Wehrlein. Stroll, decent start. Wehrlein now, the downforce and the power is giving him a much better acceleration than us, but Wehrlein down the inside on Magnussen. Stroll cuts us off. We're going to go maybe around Stroll, as we have Ericsson. We're going to have to watch out for him. He's on our outside right now, but Stroll a little bit slow through this corner. Wehrlein is being held up by Magnussen. Magnussen had a poor struggle through there. He had to correct the car a lot, and now we're up into P16. Alonso dropped so many grids. He's down into P15 with Grosjean in front. We're going to go down the inside on our teammate and down the inside maybe on Grosjean out of the corner. Can we get him? No, we're going to have a lot of wheel spin on the exit, and maybe we can get into this corner. No, we cannot. He's going to block us, and there is Grosjean now ahead of us in P14. So now Alonso, we're in a very interesting position. We have actually been in such a good position for a while with being able to pretty much race. We've had terrible power units for the past 2 races, waiting for it to blow up. Getting a fresh power unit actually helped a lot, and now we have no overtaken, as that is Felipe Massa for some weird reason actually going out onto the grass. And here's a replay. He just look at that. He just lost the grip on the exit, and that's him onto the grass. Lap 2 now, and a lot of wheel spin on the exit of that corner. That gave Magnussen the much needed positioning, I guess, for the entry and the exit of that little S chicane. And there goes Magnussen, and we're going to have a go at Magnussen. We're going to have a better exit, wheel to wheel. Look at this, wheel to wheel racing, Honda versus Ferrari engine, and down the outside we go. We're not going to get him because he's going to block us, but we might be able to get him because apparently the cars go very slow after this corner. I don't know why, but now wheel to wheel again with Stroll. This is now. Yes, I don't know what's with the cars. They go very slow. Stroll gets upset with his car. Almost did a Massa, but he actually managed to hold it. Stroll now starting to get away from us as Alonso's catching up to us now. And I think we're starting to struggle at this stage of the race with these tyres. They have been used in... Oh no, they haven't been used in qualifying. They're fresh tyres. But we are starting to struggle with them. And that is Alonso not keeping up with us as we have DRS on Stroll. Nothing's happening. We might have a look at the inside. There we go. Go into the inside. No, we're going to back out. Not let that happen. Stroll, massive lockup. Doesn't destroy his exit of the corner though. And that is going to still be P16 for us on lap 6, as now Alonso gets a much better exit and entry into that corner. Alonso on the rear of us. We're sort of catching up to Stroll, not by much though. A lot of the cars in front are getting away from us, and here's a replay. I just wanted to show a replay, I'm not sure why, but now Stroll going into the pits. We're going to follow Stroll into the pits, and that is, yeah, we're going to land on the brakes as late as possible and into the pits with the pit limiter we go. And I think Ericsson is following us into the pits as well, so we're going to see if we can get a good pit stop by the McLaren boys. We do hold up Stroll possibly, but Stroll's going to get a Ericsson, there we go. Stroll held us up, and Ericsson now jumps into his pits spot way down the grid. And lap 14, nothing much happened for between the laps, but that is Carlos Sainz, and I have no idea what's up with Carlos Sainz this season so far, but he's not been on form at all. He's been having car issues after car issues, and hopefully he can get much better performance hopefully in the later season. But that is now lap 17. We're going to stay on board for this lap as Magnussen's ahead, and because of Carlos Sainz actually holding up everyone else, we're going to catch up to everyone. Sebastian Vettel is our race leader, so Vettel almost actually lapped us. We're down into P17. We've got Verline behind us. Look at this. Lap 5th gear, 6th gear now. The fuel light is on, so we're going to have to watch our fuel. I'm trying to keep up with by putting it into rich, but I'm going to have to keep putting it into standard when I don't need the fuel, as we are down in the first sector alone. Verline is catching up to us, and we are sort of catching up to Magnussen. If we had maybe 2 more laps, we could catch up to him, but it doesn't look like it, as we get a lot of wheel spin on the exit. We actually touched the gravel in that gravel trap area. Now through the middle S's or the middle S, sorry, and didn't get a good exit, clean exit at all, but we are going to have to catch up. I'm still looking at the MG UK, seeing if everything's fine. The power unit looks to be in perfect condition, locking up into the final corner. Verline catching up to us, Magnussen getting away from us. It's going to be very close for the final few corners now, as Sebastian Vettel, the race time is still counting down. Sebastian Vettel is catching up to us almost, because he's going to actually lap us if we do slow down anymore. He's right behind Verline, and coming out of the final corner pretty much now. Unfortunately, we couldn't get P16, but we are going to finish P17, which is a much better position to finish than the last race where we had to retire.
I was a bit worried about this one at the start of the weekend, but you pulled through. Thank you.
A great win then for the Maranello team today. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I think the track conditions just really suited their car today. Wind, track temperature, you name it. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature. So the more easily you can keep them there, the better your race tends to go. And that's exactly what happened. Their car just looks so comfortable out there.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the driver's
So fantastic win by the Ferrari boys, 1 and 2 on or at the end of this race, but that actually pushes Kimi Raikkonen up more in the driver standings. Sebastian Vettel now gets second, Lewis Hamilton third, Valtteri Bottas right behind him in fourth. In terms of constructors, Ferrari first, Mercedes second, and McLaren down into eighth. Haas actually got ahead of us because of some point finishes. And yeah, unlucky race by us, but we're going to hopefully have a much better race at Monaco. Monaco will be stronger for the McLaren as it's more downforce, a more downforce type of race. But until then, guys, I'll see you later.